Hey guys. So, as you probably know, the 2015 summer anime season has been underway for about a few weeks, and I decided to make a little video just giving my thoughts on what I think of a few anime that I've seen recently of this new season, and just give my overall first impressions and try to see if I can either recommend or help you stay away from certain anime. So, I'll start off with Snow White with the Red Hair. This is an anime that, well, like the name suggests, the main character Shirayuki is some sort of interpretation or variation of the fairy tale princess Snow White. Apart from some very obvious motifs from this fairy tale, such as a poisoned apple and also having a prince as the love interest, the story and setup seems mostly different. It reminded me of another recent historical shoujo anime, which was Yona of the Dawn, if only because the main character Yona looks practically identical to Shirayuki. However, Shirayuki is pretty different actually. She's already pretty resourceful and quite a knowledgeable young girl, and she's able to escape some pretty dangerous situations using only her wits and cool-minded thinking. It's honestly quite refreshing to see a female protagonist like this that is just really self-sufficient and able to take care of herself, and doesn't necessarily need the prince to come save the day. Though that said, there are still a good few elements of that type of trope in this anime, and it doesn't seem like it strays too far from the shoujo mold. And as the title probably suggests, I think this anime will be a bit childlike and innocent in how it approaches things, mostly taking a kind of fairy tale approach. As for another one of the many fantasy anime that are coming out this season, we have Rokka Braves of the Six Flowers. Now, this is quite a visually stunning anime. The fight scenes so far are pretty engaging and well choreographed. And so, yeah, this is set in a fantasy world that seems to borrow some notes from historic Aztec, Mayan, and possibly Egyptian cultures, mostly in terms of some of the clothing and structures that have been shown so far. Like, we get some shots of these pyramid-like structures. So far, the pace of the show seems pretty good. It's not too fast, though, since it's going to be only 12 episodes with no sequel planned yet, hopefully this doesn't mean that it's going to cram all the manga content into the later episodes and just try to finish the entire arc of whatever the manga's at. Though I think it still seems like a pretty interesting anime. It seems like it'll focus on a good bit of mystery and mistrust among the main cast. I mean, mostly from the synopsis that describes a prophecy telling of six heroes, or braves as they're called, to defeat oncoming hordes of fiends or demon-like creatures, when in fact seven of these heroes appear, so all the braves present have to question as to who the imposter is. And speaking of the main cast, we've only actually been introduced to three characters so far, but each seem individual and interesting in their own way, with their own motives, personalities, and insecurities. This anime also does a pretty good job at showing the world without dumping too much exposition on you. The world is gradually revealed, and although we don't know all the particulars of it yet, it does seem pretty interesting and intriguing so far. So the last summer season anime I'll be recommending in this video is going to be Gakkou Gurashi, or School Live. This is also going to be a one-core anime, so it could have some pacing issues as well, as far as trying to adapt the manga. I'm not a manga reader for any of these animes, so I might not be the best source on how well that will go down. Though, either way, this anime is very hard to recommend without spoiling what happens. As you can probably already tell, it's chock full of moe, so if that's something you cannot absolutely stand, you should probably look somewhere else. However, if you either like it or can at least put up with it, you're in for a bit of a surprise. All I can really say at this point, without spoiling too much, is that it takes a few notes from Madoka Magica, and I highly recommend you at least try out the entire first episode. If the major reveal at the end doesn't hook you and you're not too interested by the end of the episode, it's safe to say that you can probably pass on this anime. But I'd really suggest that you at least try it. The show also seems to be pretty character dynamics focused, and as of episode 3, it still mostly takes a slice of life type approach. So yeah, those are the three anime I'm most intrigued about so far this season, apart from Gangsta and Charlotte, both of which I've personally decided to wait for the English dubs. I hope this video was helpful, and please leave a comment if you either agreed or disagreed with anything I mentioned. And with that said, peace guys.